advice and opinions expressed by Dr. Grant Pichet and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice.
Dr. Doreen Grant Pichet and Dr. Doreen is an excellent podcast. Doreen Grant Pichet. Dr. Grant Pichet. Dr. Doreen Grant Pichet. Dr. Doreen Grant Pichet is a visionary for the audience, and now you can ask the questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
Okay, so should we wade into some of the things
absolutely.
that parents will my child ever have friends? It's very emotional.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, and it's also very difficult to answer some questions because we don't know anything about your child. But a lot of children that we see, that we work with, a lot of children whom I've known over the years do have friends. A lot of children find their own niche, I guess, of friends, and they mostly through the things we teach them, learn how to interact with friends, and they maintain these lifelong friendships in some cases. So I think in general the answer is yes. Now, that said, children who are struggling very severely with things that are probably higher up in our kind of survival, friends is a part of leisure and social and so on, but there are other things that are a little bit more higher up in terms of human survival, right? There are things, for instance, like adaptive skills, taking care of oneself, being able to meet one's own goals or needs, those types of things. Well, if the child is struggling more with those types of things, then the focus becomes, I need to teach this child to better take care of their own needs. I need to teach them to be able to use a device to communicate with others. And so friendship, while it is something that we want for all of our kids, the focus of what we end up wanting is the things that are a little bit more vital, I guess. So it really does depend on the child's abilities to learn and grow and the other things that the child is experiencing in life. If you think about it, typically developing children, let's say, who have, a medical illness, everyone's focus is on that medical illness rather than things like social life, right? So this is like Maslow had this, it was a psychologist who had kind of a hierarchy of life, of survival, of motivation.
Psychology
and
101, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so the top, friendship definitely is on the hierarchy, but there are other things that are above it in terms of human needs. So depending on what the child needs the most, and this honestly affects every aspect of our therapy as well. And that's why we're always talking about the age of the child, because when it's a 2-year-old, their needs are few. When it's a 12-year-old, they have many more needs. And we as therapists try to put all of those needs in a specific time frame and with the limitations that we have, and we try to teach the needs that are the most vital, I would say, or at the top of the hierarchy.
But can I say one thing that, so much is possible?
Absolutely, yes, of course.
And if that's what's really most important to you, like, when we talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you also as a parent probably have a list of things in your head somewhere, maybe fully formed or not. But if that's something that's super important to you, there are a bunch of skills that you teach that make it possible for a great many people.
Absolutely right. And I will say, the whole concept of friendship is very interesting because there are children who their parents or their teachers, nobody ever thought, this child would establish a bond with another child, a friendship. And they do. And these are children who, at intake, parents will tell me, when I first meet them, parents will tell me, he's so interested in other kids, he just doesn't know how to interact. Yeah. And that is fantastic because we can teach the child how to interact and what the other child expects.
Yeah.
And then those bonds and those attachments form. And that's really the basis of all friendship, is having a bond or an attachment to another human.